So, Steve,
Yes, Chris.
I'm once again very glad and happy to be here with you.
You know, I feel the same about being here with you.
That's a good start.
That's a great start.
So, yeah, looking forward for this podcast.
Yeah, and just because we do this, we had breakfast before, and we got into a strange conversation that we actually didn't finish it.
I know.
But we were discussing Fahrenheit versus Celsius, which is a kind of an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I know.
And I did not ask you, and what I wanted to ask you is, are you able to do Fahrenheit?
Okay, and by the way, this is not the podcast.
It is the podcast.
Yeah, it's not the main topic
But it's the topic
for now.
now.
So the
That
question
makes
is-
the topic. The question is, do you do Fahrenheit in your daily life?
Usually no,
Okay.
except for one thing.
Okay.
The water temperature.
Water temperature.
That's it. That's the only
That's
thing.
it.
I'm going to go swim. It's like,
Thermostat?
what's the temperature of the water? So, it's 80. Oh, that's good. Okay.
That's so weird.
68, a bit too cold.
Mine is, like California American my whole life. I do Fahrenheit for warm. True story.
Sure.
So it's like in the summer, I will switch my apps to Fahrenheit.
Okay.
But I can't do Fahrenheit for cold because I don't know how to translate.
That's so weird.
So for me, it's like I know what, 7 degrees Celsius feels like, but I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
How about the clock? That's another one. That's what started this conversation.
The clock.
Is I was trying to set up a Zoom call. I was trying to remember why we're talking
yeah,
about
with
this.
your people in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
And so I was doing a Zoom for tomorrow, and so I was doing the translation to the 8-hour Europe jump, but then jumping to 24-hour time as well.
Yeah.
Instead of the 8
Which I'm
PM,
used to, yeah.
Which I'm not.
Okay.
So for me, they're like, let's do it at 2100. So I'm like, okay, so it's 9 o'clock minus 8 hours.
5 is 17.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, it's obvious.
Everything's obvious.
Don't you
to
see the link?
Every-
5, 17.
Everything's obvious to you. My entire day with you was like, why don't you just know this wine?
Like 3, 15.
Why don't you just know this cooking technique? And I'm like, what?
Come on, Steve.
Some French word.
I told you before, you need to learn stuff.
I need to learn a lot of stuff.
Dude.
I need to get on that mix down thing. Should we do?
We should switch and pivot
Let's switch. Is anybody still listening? My mom.
Maybe Sebastian, who is asking the question.
He doesn't know
maybe
he's asking the question yet because we haven't gotten to it.
Oh, he doesn't
He's
even
already
know.
left.
He doesn't even know.
He thought
that
this was an episode about Fahrenheit.
He's going to get to say, hey, you didn't
Our
answer my
moms are
question.
listening.
Like always. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Okay, this is, I say Sebastian.
It's Sebastian in reality, yeah.
It does say from France.
Yes.
From Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
Yeah, look.
Guadeloupe.
Guadalupe.
Which is, it's part of France.
Yeah.
It's an island.
Everything's an island. Everything's an island.
Around the Caribbeans.
Everything's an island.
I know. Same
Or
for
a wine.
Martinique. Martinique's the same.
That sounds like a wine.
It's
That's an
actually
island.
near Guadeloupe.
Everything's an island of wine. I have this image of what it's like over there.
Oh my gosh.
Is it as beautiful as I imagine it? Islands of
Probably.
wine with
I don't
cheese?
know. I would have to go and look up inside your head, but that's a bit scary, so I don't know if I want to go there.
It's terrifying. So, Sebastian from Guadalupe said, there's a lot of talk about the good and the bad regarding analog versus digital.
Yes.
True. But most of the time, the discussion revolves around the technical part or the sound or whatever, true. But isn't pleasure something as important?
Oh,
That's such a French way to say that.
I like that.
It's important, the pleasure.
I get him.
Especially,
I know exactly what he means.
You would, especially with lower grade hardware. And then he translates for me. What I mean is that the pleasure of using analog hardware is real. And could this be the reason why so many engineers still use analog hardware? So that's a great question. Okay,
it
so
is.
let's take off our little IKEA table here the idea of analog versus digital sound. And can I take an analog box and make it sound as good as the plug-in equivalent?
Let's not go there. No.
All that's the forum.
That's out of the way. Sure.
And nobody knows the answer because everybody has an opinion and everybody
It's a
feels
personal
differently.
thing,
It's
honestly.
a personal thing.
Yeah.
So let's make this a shorter podcast.
Sure.
Because we have a question from Kyle,
Yeah.
our friend, coming up. So
Yeah.
let's get to that. So let's do the quick version. Quick version to me, and you can translate as well. My
I'll try.
translation is, what about analog is fun?
What about
What
analog
fun
is fun?
do you derive from analog?
The fun for me would be like moving knobs around, This is one part that is fun on working with analog gear for sure. There's lots of annoying parts, but if we just want to focus on the fun side, I think like playing around with physical knobs is part of it.
Yeah, like like for years I've had the SSL console.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I just started mixing last week. So for the last week, I've had this
for
console.
The last couple of days.
Last couple of days.
Yeah.
How come every podcast I just started?
It's been a week.
I just started.
I just started a couple of days.
Yeah, my career is getting shorter every episode.
And next week's gonna be. Hey, did you get that Mixing for Dummies book? Did you read it on your way?
Yeah, I read it on the way here. So I've had in real life, I've had this console for years, and it is just fun. And the debate rages on about the sound and the thing and the whatever. And people are switching into the box and out of the box all the time. Even our mentors are getting new analog or selling all their analog. So it's a weird conversation there.
It is.
Nobody knows the answer. Or people think they know the answer, but I think nobody knows. It's fun. It's fun to drive a sports car when I could drive a very utilitarian vehicle, right?
Yes.
Mom, I need a sports car instead of this utilitarian vehicle I drive every day. But it's kind of fun. It's fun to do that if you're blessed enough to be able to do it.
Sure.
And so, yeah, in this, there is psychology. There's psychology to it, right? To turning the knobs. If you turn the knob in real life, or if you turn it on a controller with a mouse, there's a different. Even if it's accomplishing the same thing,
seeing the lights,
there's something about seeing the lights,
the VU meter moving, that needle
it's
going.
See that needle,
of course,
ping in real life, and you hear it click sometimes in real life.
Do.
And there's something about that.
Yeah.
So I think there is a bit of like, if you want to buy a big boat and you're blessed enough to be able to do it, when a small boat would do, why wouldn't you buy the big boat? And then for me, there's phases in my life. So now I'm in a phase in my life where the console's in storage. And I'm having the time of my life, not having all those knobs for a different reason, right? So it's a weird, a weird thing. Even when you move between them, there's some joy in being blessed enough to have that.
Sure.
And it's great. It's like
but again, there's more
standing
reason,
up to change something on a console is really fun. And there's something, and we've seen our mentors do it.
For sure.
Right? Their butt's always in the air, and they're always like doing something up there, some magic thing that makes their mixes sound better than ours.
Yeah.
His word was pleasure. There's pleasure in that.
I'm going to add something, though. I'm going to add that you don't need hardware or gear to have the same kind of pleasure.
And that's where I'm
fun.
at in my life right now.
Yeah.
I'm in this tiny little room with my favorite speakers and a mouse and a keyboard and a little 8-fader thing.
The 8-fader thing must
and I'm
be
having
something.
the time of my life.
Of course.
The time of my life.
I'm a fan of controllers.
I don't have to roll anywhere.
No.
Am
First of all,
am I old and tired and I just don't want to roll anymore?
In my studio, it's like
It's the time of my life.
I have a carpet all around, so it's pretty hard to roll.
If you roll off the little mat thing,
oh, dude,
you get stuck. You get one wheel stuck in the carpet,
and that's not fun.
No, it's not fun because you got to put your butt in the air.
It removes all the fun of playing with gear.
It's awkward for all the rest of us when you get your little wheel stuck in the carpet. So that's the rebuttal to it all.
Totally.
There's pleasure right now in not having analog.
Honestly, right now, like I'm going to use analog for other reasons.
Yes.
Than only the fun part, because the fun part, I'm going to get my faders in front of me out of my console one.
Yes.
Faders and, all the knobs also with the channel strip. The monogram CC, I love controllers.
Yeah.
I love to be able to control plugins, to control my DAW, to lift up faders and stuff while mixing.
Yeah.
That I love. I'm not a big fan of the mouse.
Right.
Okay. So, and that is fun for me.
It's fun.
That's as much fun, for me anyways.
It's so much fun.
To just turning up knobs on
I've crossed into your world.
Yeah.
But if my mom, who's apparently giving away money in these episodes, gave you a bunch of money and was like, dude, you could go to a big studio with a big console and record a rock band with all the stuff and all the lights and all the heat and all the noise and all the chaos and all the things and all the recall sheets and everything, we'd do it because it would be pleasurable per Sebastian.
Sure.
There's pleasure in it still.
Yeah. When we talk about the net benefit.
Oh, that's a different conversation.
Okay.
That's not what he's asking.
No, but still.
He's just talking about pleasure.
Yeah. But
How did I do? Did I do good? Use my hands?
Okay. It's okay. Yeah. Pleasure.
Yeah. See, that's good. That's like half of it is just the hands.
You're getting there, man.
Thank
You're
you.
getting there.
Or if you have wine, you raise
It's
your wine a
even
little
better.
bit. Yeah, it's
Even
better with
better.
wine.
Yeah.
You hold it by the stem,
the
right?
tasting
Yeah, you got to
first.
hold it by the stem. Look at that. Look
Yeah.
at that. Even in your
Smell it.
invitation, you're holding it by the stem.
course.
I'm always like, got wine.
You'll leave a bunch
give
of
me my
fingerprints on your cup. You know?
No class. So, yes, the net benefit is a whole nother thing. Recalling a console, so that's a different thing. Does that take away from the pleasure?
No, not mine. It depends. You know, it could. It could. Honestly, it
Yeah.
could. There's a pleasure in moving the knobs and stuff like that, sure.
Yeah.
But stuff that can be a turnoff is maybe
It's broken all the time?
all that stuff, you know, all the
Does
rest.
that take
like,
away net pleasure is a whole nother thing.
like, for example, I have that, it's an old reverb unit.
Oh,
the Roland.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Space Echo.
The Space Echo.
Yeah. Needs to be shot into space.
Now, when it works, it's awesome.
On Tuesdays at 3:27 p.m.
And now I turned it on last week, and the tape is not moving.
Yeah.
So it's not working. So
No
that's
pleasure.
not fun. No pleasure.
No pleasure. If I had a trombone, I'd be like, wah, wah, like right behind
So-
you. No pleasure.
So yeah.
No
But
pleasure.
is that this is to go back to Sebastian's question?
That's fair.
Is that because he was asking? Is this kind of the reason why people still work with analog gear for the pleasure?
Yes.
You think that's the reason?
That's a huge one.
It could be a reason. Do you think it's the only reason?
No.
Exactly. That's what I think too.
Correct.
But if we jump into the other reasons, maybe we're going to jump into this rabbit hole.
Now,
of
now we're down the
technical
rabbit
stuff
hole.
that we
Now
don't
we're
wanna
in the
do today.
rabbit hole of sound of this versus that.
Personal choice and all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Because you know, there's workflow. There's
But I think if we're being honest, maybe the conclusion of this is, if we're being honest,
it's fun.
we must admit that it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is.
And if we all could do it, we all would do it for a certain part of our day. Mm-hmm. Maybe the hybrid's the answer.
Hybrid is fun too.
That's the answer, maybe. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm there. Oh, okay. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Yes and no.
I think that's a good answer.
Yes and no.
Yeah, there you go.
Should we talk to Kyle?
Maybe it's time to get Kyle on.
So this is our first
This is our first live question.
our first victim.
This is awesome.
We're trying out the technology. We're learning how this works.
Yes,
in
as
real
we
time.
go.
So Kyle is actually a real life friend of ours.
Yeah.
Which we thought might be nice for our trial.
He's in Calgary, and you know,
Yeah.
Calgary is a small community.
It is a small
We
community.
all know each other.
Yeah. That
know?
that is actually a thing like at NAM. People are always like, "You're from Canada.
You know John."
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know a guy called John? And yeah, and like he looks, and everybody looks the same. I'm
course,
sure. And he's
of
just like
course.
he's tall and blonde. I'm like, so Kyle is John today from Calgary,
So what?
and Kyle,
I'm
Kyle
John from Calgary.
and Kyle, we ambushed Kyle at a weird time. He's in his car.
That's his car?
We're like, can you, unless that's your house and Kyle's fallen on hard times, you don't have
I'm
to.
living in my car,
This is
but I have time for a podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
this whole call got awkward. Kyle's crying.
That's the spirit.
Why is Kyle crying? Poor Kyle. Andrea left. Kyle's in the car. Just turned so sad. Anyway, so we're sorry about the random call time there, Kyle. Thanks for being at the store or whatever.
You can go ahead with your question.
Oh,
Maybe
good.
now's the time.
Yes, Kyle had a.
It's a very important question. What does Chris look like without a beard? And what does Steve look like with Chris's beard?
With Chris's beard. I think
Oh.
I think you need to do a little Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah.
You Photoshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna,
yeah.
All right, so let's show the photo right about
Now.
We're gonna all watch. I'm gonna actually watch this episode now.
You will.
to see how I look with your
'Cause-
beard.
Yeah. And, you know, and that picture from myself without a beard is actually from my first YouTube video that I uploaded years ago.
This exists in.
Yeah. And from that point, I just stopped shaving from that first video.
But
Here I am.
I need a place to hide. Just like going into yourself. So, and you actually, when you Photoshop, can you put that beard on me?
I will.
Okay, that'll be amazing. All right, Kyle, do you have an audio-based question?
My second question is, what is, aside from the headphones and the speakers and the computer, what's the next piece of essential gear in your guys' opinion?
Oh, Okay. Aside from the speakers and headphones and all that stuff.
If let's assume you have a decent interface with your computer.
You're happy with the interface you have.
Yeah, 1, 2 get sound into the box. Microphone. We'll assume microphone is next.
Yeah.
It's the biggest impact.
Totally. Yeah.
If he's talking fun though, which he might be, EQ or compressor, go.
Oh, I would go with EQ.
EQ,
But
huh?
again, I don't EQ a lot. I don't.
I
when
go
tracking,
compressor.
Yeah, maybe compressor.
Yeah, like I feel like I can push an analog.
Sorry, we'll edit that out.
I don't think we edit that out. Let's leave that in. That just happened in real life, like Kyle in a car. And that first video of you with no beard. That's all real life.
Oh, man.
Slim, this is part of life. Sneezing. Compressors are fun. Compressors are fun, Kyle. The other thing that I would say is fun for me is master bus. Like those big, violent, broad strokes devices are fun. So, like a big master bus process, like the Rupert Neve designs master bus processor, like some kind of box that just really changes what you're doing.
Okay.
Versus something that might happen just on a one-channel plugin.
Yeah.
Like what's a big, for you, it's your master, you have your...
I have my
EQ.
my SSL type of
and so there's those big broad strokes things that are fun. Like for me, it's on my the last channel of my DAW goes out to this thing and back in.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and so it's affecting my record track basically, and then you can add things to that, right? A good crush thing, and then you add a nice EQ, and you can just start adding things to that, which is a great way to just affect your overall mix. And then from the first thing you add to your mix, that thing's lighting up and you're adding and you're pushing things into it and it's affecting your sound. So that's a big canon of outboard.
Yeah, and you were talking about compressors earlier, and I love more and more to compress on the way in, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to get a bit of tone.
Yep.
Just to craft the sound right away.
Yeah.
Commit right away.
Yeah.
And getting used to the word commit. So...
it's a scary word.
It's a scary word, but
it's like when I committed to doing this with you. Here we are.
That was a mistake, maybe.
Here we are. Yeah, it's all right. Our wives they understand.
They know. They
have
know.
A second commitment now. I do. Look at him. You should have seen him without a beard, babe. As pretty as you. Think of what is fun, and then get that. And the other one that's fun for me that's kind of been a fun world, and I know you're not a big subscriber of it, but I find a lot of people have a lot of fun with it, is the 500 series.
I know.
And that just allows you for a nominal fee to just get a whole bunch of fun.
As long as you have, but you have to still start with the box.
Yeah, you get the box, and then you just put fun in it, and your fun can change, and you buy and you sell fun, and it's a bit of a baseball cards thing, right? Where you're shuffling things in and out and trying.
I thought of it. It's
pretty fun.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's
I don't know.
Fun. It is.
I'm
it's like
afraid,
guitar pedals, right?
I'm afraid to jump into that rabbit hole.
It's like Vance Powell with his guitar pedal thing. You're just like, oh my God, if I started that, I would never stop.
Yeah, like for me, what is fun, and we talked about that earlier, controllers.
Does that answer? That's the first part. Does that answer the first part?
Yes.
Okay.
Next question, kind of just off that, what is your current piece of favorite gear?
And let's caveat this for fun with, it's not our favorite tool, it's our favorite toy.
Okay, like for me?
Yeah. What's your favorite toy in the rack?
Like I mentioned.
The table?
No, the IKEA table.
Your IKEA table?
Yeah, that
it's
rocks,
beautiful.
man.
You use flosser
It's
stick
a
over
must.
there? Yeah.
Any type of controllers that I have on my desk
tactile.
is could be the console
you're
one.
on the soft tube one, right?
The faders, could be the Monogram CC.
That's the console. Soft tube console.
Yeah, the console and the console one.
Right, and then the EQ thing. It's like 2 units.
Yeah, the EQ is like the channel strip, basically.
Right.
Okay, and the other one's the faders.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that from NAMM.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal.
Yeah,
last
year,
year's NAMM.
Exactly,
I remember that. It was like the thing everybody was talking about. Was that future?
I got into it at that time.
And I did. In the last year, I got the UF8, the SSL.
Oh, you got this
8
one.
channel.
Okay.
Which I love.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
But I love
They're
controllers.
Beautiful. They are beautiful.
Yeah. And the Monogram CC on my left.
Yep.
That's perfect also. I control plugins with that. I control my computer also with the big knob and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just like
you've got a whole thing. Like you hit a button and like
I know.
doors open and the sink turns off.
That's a Stream Deck.
yeah, and your wife yells, "Okay, I know,
like
you're recording."
Off.
Like, yeah. Everything changes. The dog gets let outside. Like
when we do the live streams,
it's amazing with that button. All kind of things happen.
Yeah, the Stream Deck is awesome. So yeah.
So faders. So let's go hardware, like audio hardware.
Audio hardware. I would say my bus compressor because I use it all the time. Honestly, when mixing, that's the hardware I'm going to use the most.
I agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
So yeah.
Yeah, mine's the Rupert Neve Master Bus Processor.
Yeah, a lot of the other gear I use, it's when recording.
Yes.
Last question is, do you guys have a daily practice or kind of a routine that you do on some sort of regular basis to improve your mixing skills? Or as a brand new mixer, what would you suggest that I could do?
Some stuff that
mixing.
Yeah. Download tracks, mix. There's a bunch of, there's even a website from, is it Cambridge or something? You can download a bunch of tracks to mix. It's like anything else. The more you want to develop your craft, you just need to do it.
The other thing that I think helps a lot for me is just A/B-ing stuff. Mm-hmm. Like drag loop back a mix into your thing, and then I'll just sit and pick on something. I love the way the bass sounds in this, and I will just try to make bass sound like
reverse
that
engineer
bass.
what you hear.
So there's a huge I will spend like just a snare. Like, how did he do that?
Yeah, and something that I like to do also was, I don't know if you heard of Sound Gym.
Oh, I did. Is this the frequency training thing?
It's just like frequency, dynamics, delays, whatever.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Facebook really thinks I need that when I'm scrolling.
Man, you better listen to Facebook.
It knows. It's like, you want this.
Zuckerberg knows.
Yeah, he knows. The Zuck.
Yeah.
But
this is a fun app.
But
honestly.
reverse engineering is really fun. Like it's like just pick a snare. Take a snare from something you love. Different eras.
Figure out
like a 90s snare. And then try to just recreate it with like your few plugins. And it's really frustrating and really fun. And then you think you get it. And then I come back the next day and I'm like, I didn't have it at all.
So far away.
I didn't have it at all. But eventually your brain is like, try to save you. It's like, you're fine. Go have dinner or whatever. Go visit your family.
You were aiming like for a fat CLA sound.
Yeah.
And you ended up with, I don't know, a paper type sound.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's amazing how far off I am when I think I've nailed it. It's my life, pretty much in a sentence. Just, that could be a shirt. Oh,
that's
poor
awesome.
Kyle. Oh.
Hey, so Kyle, thanks a lot for your question. That was fun, actually.
It was.
Yeah.
Kyle from his new home.
Yeah, take care of your new home. You know,
you gotta go to the car wash. Keep your house clean.
I'll be here all day mixing.
See you soon, bro.
Thank you.